The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, no Cameron, but friend of Cameron and Larson, our DM for our fucking Dungeons and Dragons episodes, and we are going to do something we said we wouldn't do, and review House of the Dead 2. Stay tuned for that.
Shall we play a game?
You got several things to do. You got work, kids in school. What do you do when it's all over?
How do you hand something from one player to another?
Welcome to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast that is now one person short, but we gained another person today. So we have a guest friend here. He's one of Cameron's friends, and I don't think you've played with us online or anything, have you? Or have you?
I played.
Was that you when I was playing?
Dead by Daylight. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dead by Daylight. That's right. So we have played with him a couple times.
I think we played Destiny. Or we're Cameron playing Destiny. You were playing Spider-Man. We were just like chatting it up.
Yeah. So you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Zack, friend of the program, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. And like we said, Cameron's not here. He's out of town. So
we should have pretended Cam was here and played Is Cam Here?
The sweet game that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
I know. That would be so fun. We need to get someone. We need to get like Jake, someone with a ton of time to like fucking get us a bunch of Cameron sound bites, and then I'll just like drop them.
Occasionally play them.
Yeah, just have like a few Cameron laughs, and
maybe get like a Cam monologue and just like stick it in there somewhere. Just to like make people really think he's here.
Yeah, I think we should totally do that. I mean, the problem is this is the first time he's missed an episode in a long time, and really it's kind of my fault in a way. I mean, if you want to look at it that way. Because we're going to pre-record it a couple weeks ago, or about last week, right? But I slept through.
You slept through Saturday, so we had to record it on Sunday.
Because I didn't get done with work until like 7 Saturday morning, and I just slept like a mofo until like 2. Then I went back to work, which was sad, but yeah, no podcast. So we have a wonderful guest episode this time, and we're doing something we said we wouldn't do, or at least do yet, the sequels to video game movies. So first one up.
Well, sort of, because this one isn't even on any list. Like, it's not on the Wikipedia list at all.
Yeah, it's our own list.
I looked through the direct-to-video ones, like all the other ones that they have for the video game movies. House of the Dead 2, for some reason, is not on there.
I wonder why.
It's just like a fucking mystery.
Yeah, it's not some reason. There are clear reasons.
Very clear reason, yeah. But I mean, still, like, it's not on the direct-to-video. Like, I have no idea what platform this came out on.
I don't know.
It wasn't a theatrical release.
Maybe they just didn't release it at all. They just made it and they waited till
and they just put it on Amazon like years later.
They're like, we're gonna just keep this and see if there's some easy ass way to rent it out in the future and hope it makes a couple bucks back.
I feel like the saddest part was that it totally was free, and then we had to rent it. When we decided to watch it,
it was free before. Yeah, that is kind of sad. They were like, you know what? They saw somebody looked it up and looked at it, and they were like, all right, now we're gonna make it $2.99.
You looked it up.
It was like all the 5 times that I looked it up on Amazon. They were like, all right, people are interested. Time to jack up the price.
We're gonna make like $7 off this movie.
Yeah. Psych, they only made $2.99, so fuck you. But that's what we're going to be reviewing today. But before we get into any of that, what has everyone been playing this week? Craig?
Solidly The Witcher 3.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Wow, that's a rare week for you.
I just played it, like, the only day that I really played any games was yesterday, and all I did was play Witcher 3.
Yeah? That's the only day you've gamed in the last week?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I know.
How do you not, like, make time for that during the week?
I only have like 4 hours from when I wake up till I have to like get ready for work.
What do
So
you?
I just usually just watch shows.
Wait, how does that work?
Occasionally, I'll play a video game.
How does that work? Do you like you work 10 hours a day?
Yeah,
No.
10.5 hours, and then I get off at like 2 in the morning, and then wake up at like 10:30. Have to get ready.
But you go in at like 4.
I go in at 3:30.
Okay. So you go in at 3:30, but you wake up at 10:30. So you give yourself a full hour to get like bathed and stuff. That's your problem, Caleb. You should have 4.5, almost 5 hours of game time. You need to eat
just don't.
and shower at the same
I just
time.
gotta take a horse
I
shower,
gotta-
you know.
Gee, I just watch the shows, man. That's what I do.
The shows?
It's the weekday thing. It's just the shows. Yeah.
God, how many shows do you have?
A lot.
Why?
Because I like looking up new shows.
I think most TV is shitty. Like,
A lot of TV is shitty, you're right. Which is why I try to find the good ones.
By watching the shitty ones.
By watching some shitty ones, yes.
all right. I mean, all right. It's your time. But cool.
I do games sometimes during it, but not this week.
All right.
Just The Witcher.
What about you, man? What have you been playing?
Man, I got some Red Dead Redemption 2 in.
Oh, nice,
Pretty
good.
fun, yeah. I played Resident Evil 4 this week.
Oh, nice. Have you played that before?
I haven't. I watched my cousin play, like, he beat that game like 7 times. And I
Nice.
sit there and I was like, yeah, all right. So finally, I splurged the $20 to go get it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. And also Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh, nice. Have you played that before?
I haven't.
No, that's also a
So I
good
was
game.
playing that,
Also,
yeah.
yeah, we also reviewed that one.
Yeah, so I listened to your review, and I was like, I want it. And I was like, damn it, all right, I'll get it.
It's fucking sweet game.
Nice,
I
yeah.
love Battlefield 2. Or Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2.
Oh, the PS4 one?
Yeah, they got me with General Grievous. I
Oh,
had to go back and play it.
I see. Yeah, I never bought it, so.
That was stupid.
Yeah,
I bought it when it first came out.
I know. That's
It was
probably
on
not a good idea.
sale like a month ago for like $5, and I bought it just to play through the story mode.
It's back to $30.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
all the DLC for it is free, so I was like, yeah, fine. I'll just play it for the story mode anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, I have been playing. I started the week off super strong with like 2 full days of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, you had the entire week off.
Yeah, and today is the last day I have off. And I don't really have that much to show for it, to be honest. So I played a bunch of that. I then realized, you know what? I need to go drinking. Like, I need to go out and get super drunk. And so I drank a ton and played Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah, classic night.
Yeah, and some fucking Ragdoll Kung Fu
Oh, dude.
as
Who are
well.
you playing with?
One of my work buddies.
Oh, nice.
And I got really, really, really drunk, like insanely shit-faced. So the next day, I basically slept the entire day. Like, periodically, I woke up, I, like, took, like, a super long bath. I, like, drained the bathtub, and I was like, man, I'm really hot. So I just laid in there for, like, 40 minutes. And then I got out, and I laid in bed again for, like, another 2 hours. I was like, fuck, dude. I've done nothing but sleep today. And I went to bed at, like, 2 in the morning. It wasn't like it was super, super late or anything. And so then I was like, you know what? I need to play some fucking Witcher, because I started it a couple weeks ago, and it's a big fucking game. Red Dead's not going to win the fucking vote because you people are assholes.
Oh, speaking of that, I'm going to pull it up real quick.
And I know I don't need to play Red Dead right now, so I'm just going to let it wait. And Witcher's, fine, so I'm playing that. And I started that, and then that's what I've done a couple hours here and there of. And also I played like a solid, I think, 9 or 10 hours of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. What the fuck? Crystal Bearers yesterday, so I'm almost done with that game. I almost beat it in one sitting.
Oh, nice. It's not a very long game then, eh?
No, it's not. And
What kind of game is it?
it's
The
a
last one you played was like a tower defense, right?
yeah, it's a action-ish game, I guess. It's a Wii game, and it's the controls on that thing not great. But I don't want to get too into detail on that here because I'll be reviewing it tomorrow after I beat it tonight. But now that we know what everyone's been playing, have any of you beaten a game this week?
No. Really close to that last DLC in Witcher, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't fucking count. You will get points.
We count DLC, sort of.
Yeah, but you don't even enter your hog, so...
That's true. I don't. I need to, but I don't.
Yeah, it's almost the end of the year, and you do need to.
Yeah.
I need to see that I'm going to beat you.
You're totally not.
Why not? Because of your shows, your precious television?
That's exactly why, yeah.
All right, well...
That and, like, the 800 comics.
That's a lot, yeah. I can't really compete with that. So, the Nude Hog for the host is as follows. Caleb Craig in first place with 33 games beaten. I am in second with 31. And Cameron is in third with 12.
Fucking 12.
Yeah, we're going to triple Cameron this year, I bet.
So sad.
Because he's going to have Witcher done, and then, like, what else is there for him after that?
He's got to do
the
Bastion.
GalGun?
And speaking of that, the results for the vote is GalGun Double Piece has won by 6% over Red Dead Redemption.
It's that
2.
third party. It's that third party fucking Dark Souls remaster that split the vote.
Oh yeah, because
Red
they were
Dead would've
totally gonna
secured
go.
it.
They were totally gonna go for Red Dead.
Yeah, those people would have voted for Red Dead over GalGun. Are you kidding me?
I highly doubt that.
What two games are more different? GalGun and Dark Souls, or GalGun and fucking Red Dead?
I'm pretty sure they would go GalGun just because like it has Dark Souls like mental difficulty for you guys.
You don't know
Mental
that. I'm gonna be fine. I'm not gonna have any problems playing this game.
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I will. I'm gonna like it a lot.
That was actually one of our more popular votes. I'm honestly surprised that it beat Red Dead Redemption 2.
I voted for Red Dead 2.
It wasn't beating it for a long time.
It was beating it, and then it wasn't beating it for a while, yeah.
And then you fucking losers got in there and tampered.
Nobody tampered.
You got
It's
your-
just a lot of people wanted that to win, and thank you guys for allowing my rage to be fulfilled in this manner.
Yeah. And yeah, you did beat the game before me, Joe, but that's because, well, you don't really have anything going on, so that would be why. Your deli counter can suck a dick. How about that?
What?
Not you. Let's talk
Oh.
about Joe. But yeah, we're going to be playing GalGun. That's, I don't know if, let's see, that's like 8 weeks away or 7 weeks away now. So, oh yeah, we'll play that this year. Barely. It'll be like fucking barely within this year. So Cameron will have at least 2 more games. And Bastion, huh? He has to play Bastion.
Yeah, yes, play Bastion.
So for us to triple Cameron, we would have to beat 45 games, which is kind of a lot.
You got time.
I mean,
You got time, but I doubt.
yeah, that's a lot. But shit, that's a good wrap on what we've been doing this week. I hope to have 2 games done next week, but I don't know if I'll be able to pound through The Witcher that quickly. It's pretty big, and there's a ton of stuff to do. So
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do.
yeah, excited to get PlayStation Now or whatever, and get GalGun for free. Beat it in like a day,
Gotta
and then,
get that 7-day subscription.
and then cancel that shit, and then it's all done. So that's
Yeah.
what I'll do. I'm not going to spend a single cent on GalGun.
I thought you were gonna get that $100 DLC.
No, that's ridiculous. They're not
Yeah,
even
you
naked.
You don't even want to get the DLC that makes their boobs bigger or smaller.
No, that's a waste of money too. How much is that one?
You're a coward.
It's $10 each.
Each person?
No,
Or each tit.
Each boob thing, like the making them bigger is $10, and then making them smaller is $10.
Oh, so it's just a one-time across the board. Everyone's tits are bigger.
Yeah.
That's a really weird DLC.
I think you're a coward if you don't do it.
I mean, probably, but I feel like that would defeat the whole purpose of the 7-day trial thing if I spent a ton of money on the fucking DLC.
Yeah, you'd have to buy the game, which is like $30, and then you'd have to buy the DLC, which is more than the game itself.
Are you saying you don't think they would
It's
let
fucking
me?
stupid.
Are you saying they don't think they would let me? They would let me fucking buy the DLC when I rented it through
I highly doubt they would let you buy the DLC.
Why?
For the game.
Why would they
you
stop
could buy
it?
You could buy the DLC, but I don't know if they would let you play it when you're streaming that game. I don't know. You'd have to attempt it. Attempt it twice. Buy the $90 DLC, and then like one of the boob enhancement or reduction DLCs, and see if they work.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the reduction's really necessary, right?
Probably not.
Because they're, one, Asian,
Well,
and
actually,
two, teenagers.
considering they're anime girls, though, they probably all have like triple D boobs.
That's a valid point.
Except for like 4 of them will have like flat
But they're
chests.
not going to be main characters, so it won't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
True, yeah. I'll be paying to reduce the side bitches. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But we should try to triple Cameron this year. We should try to dominate him.
Just really dominate them.
Yeah, and I mean, what? You've got 12 more games. I have 14 more to triple Cameron. Yeah, it's doable, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
That's like not even 2 a week. It's like 1.5 games a week, and we're there. If Cameron stays on his, his
True,
course.
and I do have like 10 days off in a row starting next week.
Oh, so you got a break too.
I do, and then I have another one in December.
Why?
I don't know.
They're just like not letting you work.
They're closing down our factory for like half the week of Thanksgiving, and then they're giving us Thanksgiving off. So, like that whole week is just already done, and then
Well, there aren't like 20 days in a week, right? So the 10-day thing.
Well, the 10-day thing includes like my days that I already would have off, and then I had that next Thursday off because I thought we were going to go to Vegas, so I asked for it off like months ago.
Oh, well, that's kind of nice. You'll just get to relax, I guess.
Yeah. So just play like a shitload of games.
You piece of fuck, man.
Dude, I gotta play that fucking Far Cry 3. My brother said he platinumed it in like 16 hours because they like changed the trophies.
Oh, really?
PS3 version.
Wow.
So,
Why do you care
just
about
do
that,
that.
though? I thought you don't care
I
about platinums.
got the Far Cry 4 one.
You only care about trophies, not platinums, though.
It's true.
You should get all but one really easy one.
Oh, yeah, just like save it.
Say, rainy day.
Dude, the one I did for Spider-Man, I saved the one that was supposed to be like you pay respects to Uncle Ben in the graveyard, and I 100%ed the game. And when you 100% the game in Spider-Man, you get like the naked Spider-Man outfit where it's just him wearing a mask and boxers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and took a selfie in front of the gravestone and
Oh,
then
wow.
platinumed the game.
Nice. Did you buy that digitally, or?
Yeah, I did.
You fucker. Craig, come on, man. You're supposed to help the cause, not just help your brother. Like, you can help him too by handing him the fucking disc so that he can play it.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
I don't understand what your... Because that was your reasoning last time I asked you about that.
Well-
You're like, well, Kellen and I share an account. I'm like, yeah, but you could hand him the disc if you wanted to see him for 1
But
minute.
you can't for multiplayer games. Can't do that.
What are you talking about?
If I had the disc for like Destiny 2, he couldn't be playing Destiny 2 with me.
Well, yeah. That's true, but Destiny 2 is free now, so...
That is also true, yeah. But I have the DLCs for it. So,
Yeah, but he can fork out some goddamn money so that you want to buy Spider-Man physically so that I can borrow it and not have to pay for it.
I got it if you want to borrow it twice. Like, I got you, man. It's all good.
Maybe. I mean, I don't have time for it, but...
And you don't have time for another like 38-hour game.
No. Is it really that long to 100%?
Yeah.
That's not too bad. But
It's like about 18 hours to beat the game.
I wanted to, but there's no way. There's no fucking way. But yeah, so GalGun, thank you people for your votes. This was one of the highest vote counts we've had in a while. Most people just don't really vote at all, which is true in real life as well as in our polls.
It's true.
It's important though, so get on there. Stop the GalGun rampage.
No, you don't stop the
You
GalGun
can-
rampage. You continue it forward for GalGun 2 and then any other anime girl related things that I choose to throw up on Schweiss and Game.
Well, it's going to be a little while before we have a vote.
That's true.
So, I mean, you'll have to kamikaze.
Well, we have to restructure our whole schedule.
Our whole
anyway.
get up. Yeah, we should probably do that at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we should.
But, yeah. So, what do you got for questions, Craig?
I got a couple questions, both from Chase versus Game. First one is, games like BioShock with harvesting children and Hellblade with its distortion of reality really make you question your world. Perhaps it's your moral choices or sympathizing with other groups of people. What game most affected who you are as a person?
What game that I've ever played has affected me as a person?
Yes.
Okay. You want to answer this first?
I have
Guess?
no idea, man.
What's affected you as a person? What?
Like it's a game, man. I don't know. Shoot.
Craig, you got anything?
I don't know, man. I don't know if a game has really affected me as a person. I don't know. In Fallout, though, I do like shooting people in the face. So I don't know. Maybe I just like going down the dark paths in video games.
So it affects you by...
any choice that I have where I can be a dick, I will be a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe brings up a good one. League of Legends turns me into an ass. It also turns Joe into the worst teammate you could possibly have.
Yeah,
so
that's
that sort
true.
of
That-
changes
yeah.
him as a person and me as a person.
Yeah, I also was very toxic in that game.
Yeah, just imagine...
Twice and I just had so much hate flowing through us.
Just imagine, yeah, from my perspective, just imagine two people that you should be able to count on that you can't count on at all in this one thing you're trying to do together. That's...
yeah, and same for me. Like, the other two people that you're playing with are complete shit.
Yeah, so you just can't... So it changes you in that way. You're like, I can't rely on anyone. I have to do everything by myself.
Yeah.
Which means I'll just infinitely fail. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't really had like a super deep connection with a game like that's changed me from who I was before to who I am now. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if I've had a game story that's really done that.
If we're gonna talk like games that have really affected me, I would say Parasite Eve 2, Bounty Hunter, Alice, and Alone in the Dark. I would say those 4 games have really affected me personally.
Yeah, I can't believe you put Alice in that list before Alone in the Dark.
Well, I was trying to remember Alone in the Dark. I forgot it for a second. I remember the experience, but not the name.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for sure there's games, like, I've learned more about myself and how much of an asshole I am. Like, Red Dead Redemption 2, where that dude's like, hey, if you shoot my chains off, I'll tell you where this, was it the money? I think he says, like, there's a robbery going on or something.
Yeah, there's like a hideout.
And so I shot his chains off, and as soon as he got 2 feet away, I'm like, well, there can only be one, Fuck, you know where the money is. Bat! Like, sorry, man.
I mean, there was a chick who had a horse fallen like on her, and I was gonna help her, get the horse off so she could live. But then I accidentally shot her in the face.
Dude, I found that stupid chick, like, after you get drunk in that one, like, little level.
Yeah.
So I didn't have my horse, and she's like, oh, can you give me a ride back? And I'm like, with what? So I went and stole a horse and came back, and she was gone. I'm like, ungrateful bitch.
Yeah, waste of time. Waste of time. Yeah, so I mean... It's. I guess it's kind of a tough question. It's not really hard. It just doesn't really. I don't really have an answer for it because I don't really get that affected by stuff. Like, I guess Nier was pretty awesome, had a pretty good story, but I wasn't like somber.
Questioning your humanity.
Yeah, I wasn't like it wasn't like when you visit the 9/11 memorial and afterwards you're just like, fuck, man, that was deep. Like, no game has ever gotten there. And I don't think any game that I've played has ever gotten there. And I'd be surprised.
I mean, Hellblade was pretty intense with its psychological stuff, but I wouldn't say it really affected me as a person.
Yeah. It was just a really good experience, a really fun,
Yeah.
really crazy new thing.
I mean, you could experience emotions with games, but it's not... I don't know, if anything has affected me to the point where it's changed anything about me.
Yeah. So, what else we got? What's the other one from Chase?
The other one from Chase is, if I do a singularly repeated motion with one arm for a short amount of time onto a part of my body, say 1 minute, does this count for Hage workout?
Only if you come up with a different way to say, like, slapping the meat each time. You can never duplicate it, or all entries are lost. How about that? And I think we do it by minutes, right? Isn't it by, like, each minute or something?
I think it is by minutes.
So you could slow roll and just be like on one, like two.
Yeah, you could. You could slowly work out that part of your body so that it doesn't get too tired, and just add minutes to your workout time.
Well, that works for Joe. I mean, he makes an evening of it. No, does the whole lights, candles things, take a bubble bath.
Dude, treat yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta feel good every
Pours
once
a
in
glass of wine, you know.
Switch
he,
hands.
he goes the whole 9 yards for it.
Yeah,
Pulls out Sasha.
that's probably why there are so many Joe exercise minutes on there. I never thought about that, but I he says he was adding.
Oh yeah, all the work he was doing at work.
Yeah, he said he was adding work time, but I don't think he.
That's
he
not
was
work
working
time.
on something.
Yeah, and it wasn't work.
Yeah, I'd say fuck it. Yeah, go ahead. There's no reason not to. Do you care, Craig?
No, yeah, I mean, go for it.
If you want to be top exercise hog, then just beat off a lot.
Just
I guess.
like Schweiss said, though, you have to come up with a different name for it each time.
Yeah, I don't want to see him.
We will judge it.
Yeah,
we will judge it. We will look, and we will judge.
Yeah, I'll have to keep a real close eye on that Hogbot guy and like see who throws out what.
I can't wait to see people tweeting out their 1 minute exercises.
Yeah. No one wants to be pulling on their. No one wants to be pulling on their dick for much longer than a minute.
Give it a power
Like,
stroke.
It's not about
It's not just the dicks. I mean, the women's can do it too.
Well, I don't think they're really pulling on much, but
Well, they're not pulling on it, but they have.
You gotta
their
flick
own
that
method.
bean, bro.
Exactly.
Diddle that skittle.
yeah. There you go. Yeah, fuck it. It's open for everyone. Do
Time
it.
to-
Everyone can do it. So anyway, if this is your first episode of Nude Clan, we are a weekly video game podcast. Every other week we try to do a video game review. We do a lot of video game movies and other media's video game related. I think we're going to try to do that in the future. I think it'd be fun to listen to some of the Witcher books and stuff like that, just to give us more depth into the worlds that we're traversing in the gaming world. So look forward to a lot of that. If it's your first time, like I said, you can find us on nudeclan.net. That's our website. You can join the forums there, ask great questions, shitty questions, whatever you want. You can tweet me at UFF Podcast.
Me at Obsidian Ba.
You got a handle or anything? Or
Oh yeah, Bloody Grixis. I don't post anything on Twitter. I just use it to vote up your guys' shit.
there you go.
Good. That's you know what? Everyone just create a Twitter account for that. You know, somebody else created one for it. I saw on the poll. So
Yeah.
let's everybody just make one so you can vote.
Just remember,
Voting
you
is
choose,
important.
You choose
Vote or
to be
die.
a hipster little shit
Yeah.
by not getting on
Hipster
Twitter just to vote. You don't have to be on Twitter. You don't have to be like a... You can still be the cool, well, I only use Twitter for my voting of this podcast. Like, that's still pretty, like...
You calling me a hipster?
niche. No, it's fine.
Bruh.
I'm saying you can get away with being, like, anti-Twitter, just using it to vote.
Just say that you only use Twitter to follow us because you enjoy what we have to say.
Yeah, you can still get away with it. It's
I
fine.
thought we bonded watching this movie, but
Apparently
I
not,
was
yeah.
wrong.
You people are filth.
Such hate.
Yeah, so get on there and make sure that we don't play a GalGun again, and we play a Red Dead Redemption 2,
No.
because that's what everyone really wants.
I don't think anyone wanted that.
I think a lot of fucking people wanted that.
Nah.
Yeah, I think we should enact
I feel like all 40% of the people who voted for Red Dead 2 didn't listen to the episode beforehand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like that's what it was.
Are you sure they're not just the older people of the world, and they shouldn't be controlling modern Nude Clan episode reviews because they're old, and this is our world now? Is that what it is, Craig? You GalGun fucks. You Gen X GalGun.
I'm not entirely sure what you're saying, but sure.
Just making like a... Because I said on there, I was like, for God's sake, vote red. I'm like, talking about Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, like the
And so now I'm making Red Dead like the old man, like the...
the Republican Party.
Kinda, yeah. Or just like any old person that's in politics, and everyone's like, "You're too old to know what people want," and so that's what you did. You galgunned, shoved it down their fucking throat, ostracized that great game that is Red Dead 2 with your hate.
I think Cameron's suffering was a little bit like why you'd want GalGun though too.
Yeah,
You know, like seeing him cringe would be nice.
But Schweiss is also caught in that, which is why Schweiss did not want that.
I mean, sometimes you just got to take the bullet, you know?
I have.
That's why I went with Parasite Eve 2, because he's a fuck.
You're lucky I didn't make you play Third Birthday.
I feel like that would have been more enjoyable, because from what
It
you
is.
said, the gameplay is not terrible.
No, it's pretty fun.
Which is fine, because I don't care if the story is shitty, as long as I can enjoy the gameplay.
That's fair. That's fair. So you can find us there. Tweet the show at Nude Clan Podcast. That's where we can get all the votes. Give us your 2 cents. Give us your 2 cents about what you think of our recent episodes and questions and all of that good stuff. All there. And great ways to support the show. You can support us directly through Patreon. Patreon.com/Nude Clan Podcast. You can donate on our page directly to our PayPal. You can sub to us on Twitch Prime using your Amazon Prime thingy, or just straight up if you want. And all of that and so much more can be found on our true website, audibletrial.com/Nude Clan Gaming or Nude Clan Podcast. So go there, get your ear holes filled with some great books from Audible, and support us in the process. All great ways, and of course, just tuning in and voting on Red Dead Redemption 2 are also great ways to support the show.
I don't know about that last one, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, that is true. Joe brings up a good point. He says if 2 of you beat it, you can still review Red Dead.
Yeah, we were going to do that anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going to review Red Dead.
You're not going to review Red Dead?
No, I'm
so
not
you're
gonna
going to wait
review it.
until Cam and I beat Red Dead so that we review Red Dead.
You can review it if
and
you
then
want.
you just sit out and don't talk about it at all.
Yeah,
because, because you refuse because you're a child.
No, it's not because I'm a child. It's because it wasn't voted on, so I'm not going to review it. That's not something a child would say. Something a grown man would say.
You have
one of the listeners.
You have reviewed a game that you didn't have a vote.
Right,
for.
I chose to do that. I've also played many a game that I have not
You're
reviewed.
You're going to just choose to be abstinent in
Did
the
I didn't-
Red Dead 2 review. Is what you're saying.
Thank you, Thy Death Sword, for that subscription. You know what? Multiple people beat mini games this year. We beat, both of us beat Gone Home this year. Craig, did we review Gone Home?
We gave a mini
we
review
didn't.
for it.
Yeah, we said we didn't like it very much. That's all we did.
That's it. That's the review. It doesn't merit a review. That's how bad that game is.
I'm just saying we've beaten games that
I
we
beat
haven't
it in
reviewed.
a minute twice.
I beat it in less than a minute. That was a trophy.
Yeah, I know.
I got that
Fuck
cocksucker.
you.
So
I got
yeah,
stuck on that goddamn little door thing in the wall.
yeah. I refuse to let bullies like our good friend Abrac get away with statements like, well, we'll probably get a Red Dead 2 review no matter what, so we should all vote for GalGun, and then GalGun suddenly skyrockets
It
in the
says
polls.
the guy who has used that exact statement multiple times to get his way in the votes.
But it worked for me, and now it didn't. It worked for them, and just because of that. And see, the thing is I have the control. I have control to say I will or will not review a game. And I will review GalGun because it's my duty.
Then I will look forward to reviewing Red Dead Redemption 2 with Cam.
If he gets it, I'm just going to
He's
slowly
going
be like,
to.
hey, Cameron, this game's actually not very good. I'm not going to play it online. I'm like, Cameron, when are we going to be able to play it online together?
You're not going to be playing it online.
I'm like, when are we going to play it online together? I work nights, Cameron. You don't. Like, we're never going to be able to be online. Like, what do you want to play with Craig all the time? Is that really what you want to do? Like,
You bought Soul Calibur 6 for that?
That's different, though, because you guys already don't play that anymore.
Yeah, we do.
When?
We played it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks, Craig. That's 2 weeks gone by since you tried to sodomize each other with your big dick characters.
That was the most random fucking message I ever got from Cameron. Was that I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Oh man, it's
Yeah.
good stuff.
But it was great. I
2B
laughed.
is coming to that game though. You can bet your ass that Cam's going to be playing that DLC with that 2B.
Yeah. Thank you for failing me, Death Sword. I appreciate it. We'll see if I ever play fucking Dark Souls 3 with you again. I will.
Did you even at all?
No, I didn't. I almost did, but then I didn't. So, yeah. Have fun reviewing that game with Cameron.
I will.
If Cameron chooses to review it with you. Unless he chooses to see my reasoning and be like, you know what? That's a good point.
I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll be on my side for this one.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Well, he is also the problem. He had Dark Souls 3. He should have just omitted his submission, and then it would have been the battle of the two instead of the battle of the three, splitting that.
The purity of GalGun versus Red Dead. You didn't want the third option in there.
No, I didn't. Like, no one ever wants the third option. Isn't that how many we've seen it so many times?
That is true.
You know, and honestly, I want to look at the vote again. I'm going to look at the percentages because I think Dark Souls, 14% went to Dark Souls. If 10% of that went to Red Dead, it would have been a tie with that other 4%, or perhaps a very slim victory for one or the other. But instead, we get nothing, Craig. We get GalGun.
I think Craig got everything he wanted.
Yeah, I think GalGun it won, and that's exactly what I wanted to have happen. So I think we're good.
Yeah, we do like Dark Souls, but we haven't played them that much. But yeah, fuck, it's gonna be interesting. I'm disappointed that my candidate lost, man. I really thought there was no way.
You really backed it, and you know what? I honestly thought that your candidate was going to win, but I would like to congratulate myself and my candidate for such a great victory.
I want to recount on all the Florida votes. Those can't be. We've seen time and time again that those can't be trusted. And I want to see those.
I don't
in physical form.
I don't know how that would work.
I demand a recount.
All right, we're going to hold another vote, and it's going to be at Schweiss's place. If you want to have the vote, you have to fly out to Utah
Yeah.
and fucking cast a physical ballot.
Exactly. It's like, oh, look, 3 people showed up, and they all want Red Dead. I guess Red Dead wins.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah. Oh, man. So you guys ready to get into House of the Dead 2?
Yes.
I feel betrayed. This is the one, what I had to watch, just so you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are starting a new section.
I feel like
now.
you watched spoilers, though. I feel like you watched a slightly better movie
All right,
than
so-
the one we watched.
Yeah, just so they know, I never saw the first one. I probably should have when you said we were going to watch this, but last night I was like doing other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
They're hardly connected.
this movie was rated R? No way.
Yeah, totally. So let's get this review going with the trailer for House of the Dead 2.
Based on the hit video game series.
This is where it all started.
The first zombie was created here. How?
The professor was trying to bring back the dead.
It's a new infection.
It's deadly.
We've lost contact with our
These
forces
transitions are
on
gold.
patrol, but before we did, they confirmed a stage 1 outbreak at a university campus.
Careful. It spreads through the victim's blood within seconds.
Get away from us!
In seconds?
And within minutes.
That one guy, like, hours.
Yeah, no shit.
Again.
There's a dead man walking, he just doesn't know it yet.
But this time,
That was spoilers for Sticky Fingaz.
It totally was.
she's leading a
I've
team
seen this
of
trailer like
operatives
4 times. I don't know how it surprised me that he died.
Yeah.
prepared to stop the virus.
First Hyper Sapien.
We can get a sample of her blood. We might just be able to
Sapien.
synthesize an antidote for the infection.
No matter what. Emmanuel Vauger of Saw 2 and Glenn of Starship Troopers 2 with Sid Haig from The Devil's Rejects and Sticky Fingaz.
And Sticky Fingaz.
From Nothing Notable.
God, I love how that guy says that.
The Dead 2.
Sticky Fingaz.
Order it on DVD, because that's about the only place you're going to be able to find this motherfucker. So it's
Or on Amazon for $2.99.
yeah. House of the Dead 2 is it's a fucking 2000. It's a sequel to the 2003 horror film House of the Dead from 2005.
Hardly a horror film.
Loosely based on the video game series of the same name. The fucking runtime of this is 96 minutes. I think the budget I saw was like
It was 96 minutes. There were at least 4 places it could have ended before it ended.
Yeah. I think the budget I saw, it was like $16 million or something like that. It was a pretty cheap... No, it was $9 million, if I remember right.
It was $9 million for the budget of this movie?
I believe so, yeah. No, sorry. Shit, 6. So even cheaper. And this is 2005, so $6 million is like pretty fucking cheap for a movie, and we can totally see why. So a college campus basically becomes a deadly place for all of these people.
Yeah,
And-
one of their professors, who they never actually said that what the professor was like in charge of, tried to bring people back to life because his son was involved with the island incident of the first game. Or the first movie's video game thing.
Yeah.
And and then so the zombie that he tries to revive eats him, and then they go out and just spread it to the entire city. And so the army figures out where the zombie outbreak started, and so they go try to pacify the school and get a sample of the patient Zero's blood so they can synthesize a cure.
Yeah, that's the movie right there. The funny, you know what's hilarious about this? This movie is on TV soon, apparently. So
on TV soon.
If you have HBO Zone, it starts at 11:15 our time. So it starts tonight in like 9 hours. You can watch 9.5 hours. You can watch
House of the Dead 2. Oh man, what a treat for you people!
I would feel insulted if I had HBO and HBO Zone was like, "Hey, you want House of the Dead 2?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to watch this.
I don't pay for this shit."
It's on again on Sunday at 2 a.m.
Yeah, so you can watch the rerun right after the first time, or you can watch it a second time if you weren't quite done with it immediately after the first. So it's 96 minutes long, an hour and a half. I think it was a little bit shorter than the first one. It felt
or they're about the same,
kind of faster paced. This one had it
had a more coherent plot.
It kind of did.
First one,
yeah, and like the funny thing, the thing I thought hilarious was like it had a coherent plot, but it's still a pile of shit.
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's
definitely.
It's still pretty bad. I mean, we have the scientist from the beginning, or the professor guy, and they talk about how he got in trouble for what was it, like fucking
stealing bodies from the morgue.
He was robbing bodies from the hospital's morgue.
Yeah,
and he got in trouble for it, and he just kept doing it. Like
and
they let him keep his job. Yeah,
the kid's like, "Well, they stopped it. They stopped it." No. They did it.
Like he was stealing fucking bodies. How is he still like have a job?
Yeah, and then once they got tired of him stealing bodies, he just started walking around and just like he ran.
Also, he kept a fucking zombie in his lab. Like, how did they not know about that?
We all need pets.
Yeah. That one they're like, oh, that's just a pet. It's. I don't know what the fuck's in that room, but it must be some animal.
All of his students knew about it. You fucking like the main characters talk to his students.
Well, they were teaching
that
assistants.
They so
they might have
they just all knew.
I'm not defending this movie by any means, but just throwing that out there.
God, it's fucking stupid.
They were all in on the secret.
They all knew that the zombie was his son's girlfriend too. Like they just is like, oh, he's a fucking pervert.
I want to know.
One of them says.
I want to know why the zombie vaccine took her nipples away. I don't understand what the fuck that was about.
Yeah, and it obviously
it's pretty weird.
Yeah, that was odd. I don't understand what happened with her at all.
In a show that's totally okay with full frontal.
Yeah. And speaking of the doctor, scientist, professor guy, once he runs out of bodies from the morgue, he just goes out and this is one of the weirdest scenes in the movie. So there's this chick that's leaving this party.
Let's set this up.
Oh
first.
shit! No, it's even worse.
The beginning of the movie starts out with what's supposed to be these dudes getting ready for some kind of assault, and you think they're military and whatnot because it's supposed to look like that. And we just thought it was really shitty because it's a really shitty movie, but it turns out these were just college guys in their frat that were getting ready to assault the women's house with their squirt guns. And some bitch leaves the fucking house.
And she walks by like four of these guys hiding.
She walks by, like 6 of them. And
they're not hiding well. They're there in plain
They're
sight.
very visible, and she just doesn't see them.
I told
for
you
some
she's
reason.
a T-Rex. Her eyesight was based on movement. It worked.
One guy comes up dressed as a pizza delivery guy, fucking like throws the pizza behind him as soon as the chick answers the door, and then pulls his dick out.
Yeah, he's like, you've had the rest. Now get ready for the best. And he whips his dick
And he's
out.
like,
And then he like
Like, shaking
pushes his
it.
way into the house, and then the rest of the guys go in and start lazily shooting the women with booze.
Yeah, and they're
Well,
like,
that one chick, is it light or is it regular? And he's like light. She's like, well, keep going, big boy. And you're like, God damn it.
Fill me up, soldier.
yeah. And yeah, they're just spraying them. There's like a wet T-shirt contest going on with booze and these spray guns, and everyone's like all super into it.
Yeah, and then one of the pledges goes upstairs and then films like one of his bros like banging this chick who was apparently a virgin before this.
Well,
as she
she's like
mentions.
riding him, and he just comes in, and you're like, oh, that's what this movie is. All right, like cool.
And she has the fakest tits on the planet, and
I
then
would say second fakest to her friend that was the T-Rex friend.
oh yeah,
True,
okay.
the 40-year-old.
Yeah, the
40-year-old college student.
definite porn star.
That's
okay,
fair.
And then
And that's when we cut back to the first
yeah,
chick.
she leaves because she gets caught on camera banging this one dude. So she goes out in the middle of the street, and then deer in the headlights gets fucking hit by this car very lazily, and then he gets out of the car to see if she's okay, and then gently bonks her on the back of the head with a fucking tire. On
Yeah,
her,
and
it
at first,
kills her.
And at first, I was watching the scene because it shows it from like her perspective, like the front view of her, and like the car. Like they couldn't have made it look worse. Like he was like in his own lane, and then he just like swerves super far out of his way to get behind her.
And it was
it's like
so fucking slow, and then somehow dislodges his fucking license plate.
Damn,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't see that.
and then he tire irons her to death. You know.
Well, she turns to the car too, and she's like, "Oh, a car!" And
Yeah,
back.
she like turns into it, and it fucking
Yeah.
throws herself on the windshield.
oh man.
Yeah, and yeah, he clubs her, and he takes her back to his little lab, and then he like,
And then he gently removes her clothes.
The scissors weren't working. I saw that. Like it was just like
yeah.
it was a
can we
little
get
bit.
can we get some sharper scissors in there, please?
Then it went from fake tits to bush, and you're like,
Whoa, yeah,
"Wow, that's where the budget went."
yeah, and her tits are the fakest thing in the movie. I'm pretty sure. So
Gravity does not affect them.
yeah, she's laying on the table, and he like injects her with the zombie serum or whatever, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm such a failure!" Like, "Oh, this didn't work out." And like the whole time he's got his back to her. Like he injects her, and then he waits like 2 seconds, and he's like, "Fuck, it didn't work. Like my serum's a waste. I'm a failure. I'm a piece of shit." And it's like you have a zombie in the other
Dude,
room.
your
Like,
acting was more convincing. I'm a failure. I can't believe this didn't work. Why didn't this work? God damn it.
Yeah,
Fuck.
he's so fucking monotone in his
Papers.
rage.
yeah, throwing his papers around, and like the whole time we just see her like twitching in the background, and like the camera's all fuzzy because it's focusing on him, and like her tits are just like huge. Back there, like it's like a nice mountain
It's
range.
almost
you know?
like the only things you can see.
Pretty much, yeah. And then like she starts twitching, and then he turns around eventually, and then she's gone.
Yeah, and then he like gives this big smile like he succeeded, and then he like gets jumped by her.
I really think he was smiling because he was done with his contract at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
like-
my views is that he was going to get attacked by a naked chick. But yeah, either way, we both even like
Yeah,
that's
he's like,
the big
win-win.
smile. Yeah, it's
Done.
win-win.
Yeah. Big tits is gonna jump on my back now.
That chick, I don't think appeared in the rest of the movie, which is sad because she was essentially like patient zero.
I wanted her to be like the main villain at the very end. Like,
Patient
that would've been
01.
so funny.
Well, because like there was the zombie chick that he had locked up in the closet, and then he injected that one with like his own synthesized version of the zombie virus.
Well, see, the funny thing to me is they kept calling her Patient Zero. It's like, oh, she's the first zombie, and I'm like, no, she really isn't. Like, if she came from the island, if she's the chick that lived in the first movie,
and then she would be like one of the one of the other generations.
Yeah, because she didn't even get bit, first of all, so I don't know why she's a fucking zombie. She got stabbed through by the conquistador guy at the end of the first movie. She never got bit. But, like, if she would have gotten bit, it would have been by one of her friends who would have been, like, Gen 2, and she wouldn't have been an OG Gen. She'd be Gen 3, not Generation 0, because I think it's based on, like, what...
Yeah, which one you
which
were
one
when
bit
you got
you.
bit.
Yeah, so no matter what, since she wasn't one of the original, like, the very first zombies, she couldn't have been Patient Zero, which is fucking stupid.
The mistake was looking for, like, continuity.
Yeah.
In this movie.
I mean, they put continuity in there, so we gotta, like...
they
we
tried.
gotta attack it somehow.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, this movie is flawless.
Exactly. If you ignore all of that, it's great.
5 fake tits out of 5. That's what I'm going to give it.
Yeah. I'd give it 4.5 fake tits. So after that, we get our what do we go to then? Like the military guys, the actual military guys?
No, it's the dude on the date.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The dude that had nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
That you
that's
thought
weird,
would,
huh?
but
Yeah.
it like was setting her up. But with the way they filmed it, you wouldn't have known that.
The way they filmed it, I thought they were going to do like he's also a secret agent, man.
Yeah,
that's what I thought they were doing.
I thought so like then they go to the like it cuts with her being on the date with that one guy with the two agents meeting with the general person, and then they get their task, and she tells the one guy to like call Nightingale or whatever, and then it cuts back to them on the date, and the dude gets a call, so you think that is the guy.
Yeah.
And then it just turns out, and then she has like a listening device that she's like listening to that guy's fucking phone call as he's like talking about how he's gonna bang her. And
Well,
then
like she
call his
pulls it out
bro
of her
in the
shirt. Like
morning.
if he's gonna actually bang her, like that's gonna fall out. And that's awkward. It's all.
It's
you
like,
know,
it's like what the fuck? What does she have a listening device for? Like, I don't trust any of my first dates.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't trust anyone.
They could be anti-spy operatives.
Yeah, they could be zombies. But yeah, as they're having a little debate, hyper sapiens. Excuse me, they prefer that term.
Yeah. That's,
But as they're on their date, you know, the French, Italian, whatever the fuck chef that's in the back, he's like, I'm gonna go on my break, and he takes a little salad out there.
like
no
barely
dressing.
any salad. Yeah, like no dressing. It literally looks like a handful of leaves
It's
with
the cheap-
with a cherry tomato in there.
Yeah, it's the cheap craft services for the day, and they're like, you can eat as much as you can get down while you're filming the scene, and the rest
he's
are
like
thrown
barely
away.
poking at it with a fork too, and then he like sees this homeless guy and he's like, "Here, go on, eat it."
And the homeless guy's like, fuck craft services. He kicks it out of the way, you know.
I want man meat.
Yeah.
Takes him out.
Tears the guy up. The guy goes back into the kitchen. Like, the manager comes in, and he's like, oh my god, what happened to Paulo? It's like everyone hates
No, his name is Jacques.
Jacques, yeah.
Yeah, he had to
No
have
one
a
likes
very
the French.
Yeah, it's like no one likes the French anymore.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't know you were French at all. Like,
He's like he sounded Italian.
Yeah,
Like
the
when the
general
first
from
two
Italian,
times that
yeah.
he was like talking, and I was like, what the fuck? Because he had like a little. I don't know. It was like the way he was saying a couple of the.
Then he was
words.
just like adding his
And
Z's.
then
He's like,
all the-
then he's talking like this, and you're like,
yeah,
what the?
and then he started going all
Like,
French
who
with it. It's
are
like,
you?
So like it feels like half of his scene they decided to change him from an Italian chef to a French chef.
Yeah, they're like, wait, wasn't he Italian before? Yeah, but we don't have money to go back.
Yeah,
We gave that guy 2 hours
They're
of-
close enough. Just make a new accent, and it'll be fine. Nobody
Yeah.
will notice.
We gave him his daily minimum yesterday. We can't afford to bring him back today. So,
He's literally working for a craft service salad. We cannot go back.
yeah. And
Iceberg craft salad.
it's
one
like,
cherry
this isn't
tomato.
salad. This is just lettuce.
This is just fucking water in leaf form.
Yeah, like, no. So he tried to give it to the hobo. The hobo was a zombie. And the funny thing I thought about that, I was like, why are there just zombies walking around town already? And it's not like an issue at all.
Right. Well, the hobo was the doctor.
Oh, that's right.
It was the doctor that. Bit
So
him.
just one guy. That's right. It was the doc.
Yeah. But like I thought,
But then they had the whole
but it's still more
montage.
plot holes. Like, how
They
did
had
he
the
get
whole-
out? How did
He not kill anybody else in the meantime, or maybe he did?
And he could have just kept going and just didn't show it because obviously the budget was spent on Paris Hilton's face.
After
in
that,
one
they
scene.
had the whole montage of the of like the zombies getting infected, like everybody getting infected and stuff like that.
So maybe he just solo ran. He
Yeah,
was like,
he got out of the school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blitz this diner. Like I'm in a Solo Rush diner.
Yeah, and so the chef, the main guy, the main chef gets bit by his other chef, and they take him into a ambulance when the special agent guy arrives, getting the girl to come with him.
Yeah, and the girl, of course, completely straight up kills our good man Jock.
Yeah, she just shoots him in the face.
Yeah, which is funny because the guy calls him John, and Jock is like, I think that's supposed to be Jack, isn't it?
Jack,
I mean, I guess Jack is a nickname for John, but like, you wouldn't go by John if your name was Jacques. You'd probably just go by, I don't know. Fuck it.
And why not just call him Jacques? Like, if that's what he's going by.
Yeah, is that really that hard? Like, we already call... This is a world... This is a world where we refer to zombies as fucking... What are they? Hyper sapiens?
Yeah, because zombies is offensive.
We're that politically correct here, but you won't call Jacques. Like, this guy deserved to die, I think. Yeah. And I'm glad he did.
Anyway, so yeah, while they're in the ambulance too, like they're just talking about like the whole zombie outbreak, and then the dude like
and him like trying to like hook up with her too.
Yeah, he's like trying to hook up with her because he found out that she went on a date, and then he also was like, also my brother died. And
I wasn't a pig. John was a pig.
While I'm trying to hook up with you, I want you to know my brother died.
Yeah,
and then the chef guy goes like full zombie, so he like shoots him in the face, and they like nonchalantly just get like splattered with blood.
Yeah,
but then the chick's necklace is completely untouched.
So
even
there's
though
blood
her entire
under that.
neck. Yeah, it's her entire neck under the necklace, and everything is just coated in blood. But her necklace is fucking fine.
The best thing to come out of that scene though is when they're talking, and it like goes to his face and it's clean, and then it goes back and there's blood streaks, and then it goes back and it's clean, and then he turns again and there's blood streaks.
I'm like, wow, you guys could have like filmed that in one continuous thing, but you didn't, did you?
Like,
there's so
people
many
saw
cuts.
that. Like they had to have edited it, and the guy's like, I'm not getting paid enough for this bullshit.
It's like, I have an hour.
This movie's
until...
direct to DVD anyway. I don't fucking give a shit. People are going to be focusing on the boobs.
Does anyone care? But the thing I liked before that, though, they asked, like, what's wrong with that chef? And they're like, oh, he ate his own food. I wouldn't eat his food.
He's like, yeah, he got food poisoning from his food.
I wouldn't eat it.
I wouldn't eat any of it. It's like,
but we already did.
It's like, oh, it's not my problem.
Yeah, and what's hilarious about that joke gets its payoff near the end when the chick like throws up, because like one of the girls, when they reach the school, she like barfs, and it was the chick who was at the diner. I'm like, she got that food poisoning. Even though she totally didn't.
It seemed like most of the extras on this were like people they got off the street, like the way they were acting and stuff. You know, like they're like, hey, you want to be in a movie? And someone's like, oh yeah, cool. You know,
yeah, we can't pay you because we are
go take a cookie off the craft service table.
We're not even supposed to be filming here, to be honest. We didn't actually ask. But so run over here quick. If everyone's part of the movie, they'll just think nothing's happening.
Quick before the cops come.
Yeah. So they cut to. After that, we get our like military team. So we have like the special secret agent man who joined secret agent woman, right? And they're part of like a reconnaissance team that's supposed to go in and like get a sample from
the science team.
Yeah, from like from
patient zero.
Patient zero, yeah.
Who's not really patient zero.
No, it's more like patient 20,000 because this island's a huge like problem in that area. But fuck it. Yeah, they're going for that, and they team up with like a bunch of military guys who are oddly they all share a locker room. So like their partner, this chick, is just like undressing, and they're all just like chilling. Like
you've never seen a girl in her underwear before. You probably never will.
Hold on, real quick, Schweiss. Do you remember what city was this supposed to be in?
The license plate said it was California.
Was it California?
On that pickup truck, the license plate was. I don't know if that's where it was supposed
because
to be.
like the first movie took place in like it wasn't California, but they said it was in like San Diego. So
it would
like
make sense.
So I was wondering if they had like just completely moved it to like but it was okay. It's good. Good continuity right there.
Yeah,
the one thing or second.
I honestly don't know. It was something. I mean, obviously it was somewhere. Yeah. But I don't remember the school name, like any of that. It's all
I don't
leaking.
think they said the school name.
They never did.
It could be anywhere then. Maybe that was the point. It would make sense though, right off the island.
It could be you.
Yeah, you could be that zombie right there. But yeah, they meet up with those guys. Those guys they're like all, our dicks are way bigger than you guys's, and they're like, oh, we can kill too. Like, Are you sure you
they're
guys
like,
are going to be able
they've
to do
never
it?
been trained to fight zombies. Like, I don't know if I can trust this. And like, we've been trained to fight, so fuck you.
Yeah, that one girl.
It's like,
Excuse me, we are good at fighting. I'm a social justice warrior, and don't tell me how to do my job.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, all
Like,
right.
oh, Jesus, yeah. All right, fine. But I mean, you know, I'm a girl too, right? She's like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
you
Not
only
anymore.
are if I say you are.
Yeah.
Don't assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of that. They're like just like inner fighting with these groups that just barely came together.
Yeah,
That's
and
kind
then
of stupid.
The locker room is totally like shared between dudes and chicks, which is kind of
Which was
weird.
great. I mean, we got some like
yeah, you got to see some more chicks in underwear, but like it was really odd.
The one.
Yeah,
There's
the
one.
and then like the main chick also gets undressed, but like you don't
see
see her boobs.
You see like some under boob.
Yeah, you see some under boob and some side boob, but she like turns away.
tasteful side boob.
Yeah,
naturally.
so you can't see her boobs. But I think it's because like they didn't pay her enough.
Yeah, because like even
Like they paid her enough to get like her back and some side boob action, but like they didn't pay enough for like the full boob.
They couldn't afford that $10
like, they
extra
couldn't-
dollars.
Yeah, that extra DLC.
They
Full
couldn't,
nude
they couldn't
DLC.
even afford like one boob. Like it was just like, you know, just the back side boob.
Well, that one girl that gets shot with, I was thinking about with the squirt gun full of beer. You see her nipple, like
That's true.
one
You do
boob
see-
on her.
you
so
do- you do see it
They
through
could have
the
taken
shirt.
her money and given it to the other chick. And it would have been.
we could have
fine.
seen that whole boob.
But you needed to see the wet T-shirt with the alcohol because that was a very important scene. That sets up everything.
The plot. Yeah, you're right.
It's central
my
to the
fault.
plot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So the shower scene, like they're all getting dressed, and then you have Sticky Fingaz threatening the MIS agent or whatever. I can't remember his name at all. Telling him that
Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis.
His name's Ellis.
That he knows what he's doing, and his team's been to hell and back. And then he's
names,
running
like,
the
3
show,
places.
and if they get in his way, then they're going to be fucking dead.
Yeah, he names 3 places, and I'm like, none of those 3 were hell. Like,
Yeah, none of them had zombies, as far as we know,
yeah,
in those places.
yeah. So they're all like super cocky. They're leaving the area. Also, the weird commander of the mission, like the chick who's in charge, she's like in a wheelchair.
That was a
which is
plot
kinda weird.
twist with no legs. Both her legs are gone.
Oh, were they gone?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't
Both her
see
legs
that.
are gone. I didn't see that coming. That was the payoff for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we got all these people set up, none of which we care about, except Sticky Fingaz, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we only care about
And
Sticky Fingaz.
O'Connor.
The fat,
Oh, yeah,
The
Fat
fat
guy.
dude in the armor
Yeah.
that did nothing.
yeah.
Who the lieutenant of their team was like gently taken care of as like he was putting on his armor too. Like
Yeah.
she's in her underwear and she's like worrying about getting the armor on that guy.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, this is so hot right now.
That armor.
and then the one like token douchebag guy was like, "You never seen a girl in her underwear before?"
The heavy breather.
Yeah.
It's not bad, is it?
You're gonna get a Purple Heart, but not for living. And you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he called it. I mean, he called it, but fucking A. So they all take off and they're going to the school. They approach the school instantly, and once they get there, they get out and they of course park. And then this is the part where we were joking, like they're just in park somewhere that they didn't actually get permission to film because they're running through there at night with like hardly any light going on at
Yeah,
all.
it's really foggy. Like it looks like it's cold because like there's steam coming off of the fucking lake.
Yeah. So totally illegal filming here. To save money, of course. It's all for a good cause. And they start seeing the zombies approach. And the fucking first thing that one of them does, they like start shooting him in the chest, which is whatever. They don't know yet, right? And then this like, I don't know, like quasi-Asian guy goes up and he just like tries to shoot this dude close range, and he rips his gun out of his hands and he just starts like beating the shit out of the
he
zombie.
like goes kung fu zombie,
And he like flips it to like break his neck and it like bites him.
Yeah, it straight up
like
bites
a
his
fucking
hand.
idiot.
So, okay, I was telling Craig about this. So you ever seen like the Starship Troopers, like the cartoon movies?
Yeah.
See how the Asian dude like, 'cause it pisses me off because like you have a gun, like use it. But it's like the one Asian dude runs up and like kicks the arachnid in the face and it like dies. He's like, yeah! And then it comes and like stabs her in the jugular and runs away. And like that's basically what this Asian dude was.
Yeah.
He's like, I can do this!
He wasn't even the most Asian dude either. The other guy was also an Asian
The
dude.
doctor dude that died with him.
Yeah, that dies immediately after this guy dies. So
they kill the 2 Asian guys in the movie like very quickly.
They couldn't kill Sticky Fingaz.
Not for some time,
Yeah,
Sticky
he died
Fingaz
like
is a
near the
survivor.
end, yeah.
So what happens is they kill him off, right? And the guy's on the ground and he's like freaking out. He's like, "Oh my god, I got bit! Oh my god!" And then the one dude, the other Asian guy, comes up to him and he's like, "We gotta help him. We gotta get like a tourniquet on this." And then he gets bit too. And then
after they cut the dude's arm off, like
he's like, we
cut his arm off with a samurai sword.
Our own.
Yeah, Sticky
and then,
Fingaz.
And then he like chops off the dude's arm with his machete, and then he starts turning anyway, and then bites the doctor dude.
Dude, the machete looks like one of those like samurai swords you got from $1. Like that's what it looked like when he pulled it out.
Yeah.
It probably was exactly that. He's like, "We got an $1 around here."
Got a machete?
Like,
no.
I love
a
how
ninja
he's
sword.
the only one that has like basically a sword, and then like nobody else has a melee weapon for like the rest of the movie, until,
Except
like,
when it was ready for the plot.
Except for the Alexandra
except for
chick,
when it was
yeah.
like plot ready. Yeah.
Well, and Ellis had one too when he was cutting the screws out of that.
Yeah. Oh my god, we have to talk about that later.
So the stupid thing here is it's straight up they killed 2 zombies and they lost 2 men. I'm like, we got a fucking 1-to-1 ratio of we're never gonna make it through this fucking
this is
town.
not a good. This is not a good mission for them already.
It's a bad start. And these are the guys that were like, we know what we're doing. We've killed before. And they're already like fucking 1-to-1 against these
I don't know why
zombies.
they even brought a doctor if their whole plan was to murder anyone that was bitten.
Well, like they weren't even like good zombies that they died to too. They were like 2 of like the slow ones.
Yeah, they fucking just got owned by the walkers.
Yeah. Not a great start. Not a great start. And of course they just execute the Asian and the quasi-Asian guy. And so they're out of the film immediately. They were like, fuck this, I'm not going to be in this movie any longer. Can you please kill me off now? I know I'm not going to live because I'm being credited as quasi-Asian guy, which is it's no name for a hero.
It's no name for a hero.
They're out, and the funny thing is like the fat guy, the O'Connor guy or whatever, he's like, I think we got them all, guys. It's like, I think we got them all. Like, I think that was it. And it's like,
he's very optimistic.
Yeah, extremely optimistic about it. Oh, we got them all. They can't take out more than 2 of us.
No, we can go home now. We're done. And we're like, please be done.
Yeah.
Please go home.
Yeah. But of course, they're not done. They have to go into the school now.
Yeah, they have to find that first zombie.
Yeah, zombie patient 0.
Yeah, quotations.
Yeah. And they go into the school, and they're going up the stairwell, and like one of the dudes, one of the other dudes, like hears some noise going on, like some like skittering or something like that, and he's like, "Someone's up there." And they're like, "Oh, just come on, don't worry about it." And he's like, "No, someone's up there." And then he like sees something like run by real fast, and he like goes down and he examines it as the other guys are just kind of exploring the rest of the school.
After they leave him, they just all leave him.
Yeah, they all fucking leave him, and he like totally disobeyed orders. But whatever. He goes downstairs. He finds he sees some girl in like a really wispy dress running around, which is never a good idea.
And she's like hiding in the corner with like her back facing.
And she's
the
like
door.
crying, like they baited him, like hardcore.
Yeah, I was like, that's not even fair. That's what I would have been screaming at her. I'm like, you cheating motherfucker.
You fucking bitch.
You can't do that. That's not part of the game.
What is this, Left 4 Dead?
Yeah. And so he finds her. He's like, we're going to get you out of here. You're going to be safe. And she turns around and is like, ah.
She sounded like a velociraptor from Jurassic Park. Like, that was the sound she made. It's calling for help. Bow, bow. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and so she freaks out. He fends her off, gets her in the closet, and then he Resident Evil's his way out the door. So he walks backwards, just like the Resident Evil scene where he's got the elevator open. That wasn't so hard, right? And he just fucking walks in and
it's
just gets...
like a fuckload of zombies right there.
Yeah, but instead this time it's just one big motherfucker.
It's just the janitor.
Yeah.
He's come to restock the bathrooms.
And the thing that they mention in this movie is they seem, and this is, I didn't understand how they knew this, but they were like, oh yeah, they seem to do the things they did in life.
Yeah, they're in the library, and then they lay out a map, and then she's like, I figured it out. They're wandering. navigate the school like they did in life or something like that. Like they just know, like they're repeating the movements that they had.
And see,
in
what
life.
makes me laugh about that is later in the movie, there's a guy that comes out of a locker, and I'm thinking like the zombies put that guy in a locker as a zombie, like.
They were
like,
still
"Come here,
dicks in life,
yeah,
dicks
they're
in
like,
death.
come here, you chubby fuck. We're gonna put you in this locker, and they're just like two zombies hauling another zombie into a locker.
Just put him in the toilet, just flushing it. Yeah.
Before that, like I made a joke about them, like having like a zombie working on his thesis because they were in the library, and then there was totally a fucking zombie like studying.
Yeah, and then
in the library,
and then Sticky Fingaz is like, zombies don't read, and so they're like,
No, that was the black dude that died later
guy.
with the girl in the white dress.
Oh, really? Am I skipping ahead? Oh, shit.
You hit fast forward.
I am sorry. Yeah, he's like,
It all
zombies
blends
don't
together to be
read.
fair,
It really
though.
does, yeah. And the zombie's totally reading. He's got like headphones in. He's listening to some music, and
He's like, boy, you're pissing me off.
But the only reason you know he's a zombie because like it shows his book and blood's just like dripping.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
yeah, the book was not bloody at all, so he just barely started bleeding.
Yeah,
which is
he's
kind
like
of weird.
he's
but
drooling on it now. And so they kill that. They kill the Asian guy who is studying
with O'Connor.
Yeah. So there's another Asian guy that they murder. And then the librarian comes out after they fucking shoot.
Oh my God.
Shoot the Asian guy, and she's like, shh, and she's a zombie, and then they just blow her away too.
yeah, that was
sorry, I
pretty
wasn't
good.
quite-
All she
and just, like,
wanted
walks
was
away.
some peace and quiet in the library,
Yeah, I think
Because-
she would have probably been fine.
because they do in death what they did in life.
Well, then she comes up with that after fighting two zombies and like, oh, they must have been assholes in life and tried to wrestle people. Like that's what they did. And it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
check the box.
Exactly. Yeah, they die.
Oh, and then the token asshole guy goes into the
mouth
dorms. Yeah, goes into the dorms with the two chicks. The lieutenant, the lieutenant and the feisty Mexican or Latino lady.
So I made a joke about her being the discount Michelle Rodriguez, and then her real name was Rodriguez, and I was like, oh, I'm racist.
You're like, that sucks. I knew it.
I was right, but
Was it like Michelle? Like it's just a couple letters shorter, so it's like a little. It's like they have a couple extra stitches on that jacket, so they sell it for half price, kind of a thing.
yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez.
So they go into the dorm room for some reason.
Yeah, we don't actually know why they're here.
They hear something in there.
Oh yeah,
they hear the
thought
girl
they.
talking.
But they're separated from like everybody else.
Yeah,
so
they
it also
walked
kinda
off.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they were
so
way far ahead.
So they go into this dorm room,
And they're like,
and
I hear
then-
voices, and it's a fucking radio. It's like
Yeah.
you can tell it's like a TV or something
Yeah,
from
so
the outside.
they break in there,
Idiots.
and then they shoot the zombie
They were
chick that's in
trained
there who
twice. They
who
were
has bare tits. Real
She
tits.
was the only real tits.
only real tits that you get to see.
Yeah. But they threw like baby powder on her, so she'd look pale.
Yeah, they definitely coated her with baby powder.
Yeah, and some dirt too, just for good measure.
Yeah, and some
Because
food coloring.
everyone
for
knows
blood.
when you die, you just get real dirty.
Yeah.
You just have a bunch of dirt and mud on your skin.
Anyway,
that's just how death is. Sorry.
Pre-burial.
So they start. The asshole guy starts looting the place, basically, like getting money out of one dude's wallet, makes fun of the dude's name, and then like grabs a camera out of the drawer so he can like molest the zombie girl and be like, hey, take a picture of me and my girlfriend in front of the two other chicks who are obviously not okay with this situation.
Yeah, they were very, very against it.
And he's like, fine, I'll just take the fucking picture myself. And he's like, oh, we make such a good couple. And he's such a fucking asshole the entire
and
time.
this is where the movie truly turns stupid. It's like they're like the chicks are like, I don't know how these guys were zombies because they weren't zombies when they came in here, because there's no signs of like blood coming into the room.
break-ins
Yeah.
or anything.
Or any sort of like
Because
damage.
the door was like locked. They had to like smash it open, and the window. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and then the
the whole time they're talking about this, there's like this insanely loud like fly sound going on in the room.
the buzzing. Yeah,
You're like, oh man, it's a fucking horse fly, and it turns out
it's
it's like
fucking
a
huge too when you because you could see it. And then, it just disappears, after he smacks it.
Yeah.
So it bites the asshole character on his hand, and it's a mosquito. And then they're like, oh my god, it's transmitted by blood, and it doesn't have to be from a human bite. And they're like, shit. And I was thinking then, I was like, if that's the case, everyone is pretty much fucked. Like, if any mosquito bites any...
Yeah, that can't be the only mosquito that's there either.
Yeah,
so.
there got to be, like, it's... Imagine this in Louisiana, like, how fucked everybody would be if this shit happened in, like, some swampy
we don't need
area.
Louisiana, though. Like,
Yeah.
We're going to throw this out there.
God, we
That's
spent
true.
so much money on it, though.
Yeah, it was a pricey little motherfucker. We didn't even just take it like we did with so many others.
Like, and honestly, like, it was kind of a cool concept, but it was too cool of a concept for this movie.
Exactly. I was like, not bad. But then we see over and over mouth or blood flying into their mouths, into their
Wiping
eyes.
blood into their mouths.
Yeah, wiping blood on the teeth, and they're not
And then
infected.
they like slightly lick it off too, like it's fine.
Yeah, it's because it's sweet syrup, and they didn't actually get fed that day.
Yeah, they did.
So they had to eat
the
something.
Craft services failed them.
Yeah. So
You
they're
don't
eating
get
it.
craft services today. It's fake blood day.
Yeah, you get sugar blood.
So with that one dude, though, real quick, the asshole dude, we forgot, like, one of the best scenes of the movie, where that peaceful dead body's laying there, and he walks up and the phone starts ringing. And he answers it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Dave can't come to the phone right now because he's dead." And then he hangs up and just like drops it back on the body.
Yeah. Guy's a douche.
It's like, so basically, somebody just called his phone, and then like a dude answers, and like, yeah, he's fucking dead. Like someone's not gonna immediately be like,
911.
hello, like fucking 911.
Yeah.
Someone just murdered this guy.
That just reminds me of, like, you get this phone in fucking Grand Theft Auto Vice City from the chef that you totally kill, and that same thing happens. He's like, yeah, your buddy's not going to come to the phone right now. And he's like, oh, he's going to fuck you up when he finds out you got his phone. And he's like, yeah, he's dead. He's not going to be taking these calls. This is mine now. So, yeah, it kind of reminded me of that, but it's so dumb. So, yeah, they find out that it travels via blood, right? There's a bunch more like killing and slaying going on in the school, and then things really start to heat up. Now people are dying. You know, we've got more and more individuals getting killed off, and we go down into the basement area. It seems anyway, and they find like two security guys who have like killed themselves as they turned, and they're like, oh, they must have trapped all the zombies behind this fucking fence that they somehow have down here. That's really odd. And then they
Must have
off
been
themselves
for like equipment, but there was like no equipment in there.
It made me think of Dawn of the Dead, where
Yeah.
they go onto the bottom of the mall, and I was like, but
With the
clearly Dawn of the
construction.
Dead was better. Like,
Well, yeah, I
the way they
mean,
did it. I mean,
both Dawn of the Deads are a million times better than this movie.
man, it's true.
And they just wanted to rip that off, basically.
Well, they did, and then with the 29 days later whole thing, like,
Yeah, like they were like 29 days later.
because
That's
legally they couldn't say 28 days later, because like this movie came out after that one. So like,
yeah. It's like, you know, we're that much more morphed, that much more fucked up. One more day. But, yeah, dude, it's fucking, oh my god. And so they go down into that area, and they're like, they see the cops, and then the zombies, like, the threat is getting more and more intense. They're like really crowding the area. And then they start breaking in, and they're like killing off the zombies, and this is where Sticky Fingaz gets fucked.
that's where I lost interest in the movie.
Yeah, because Sticky Fingaz got one come up
He
behind
was
him.
the movie.
He had one come up behind him and like bit the shit out of his shoulder.
Yeah, and he starts like fucking flailing, and his like gun is going off everywhere. So he shoots
Yeah.
into the like crowd of zombies that's
Into,
behind
like,
him.
And then
His
into
friends.
his friends too.
Yeah, and then at his friends, and then back at the zombies, and then
Like,
he's
this
like,
is
"No,
their
no,"
leader.
and then they take care of the zombie that's on him, and then he's like, "No, guys, I'm fine.
as he's convulsing, I'm fine.
Yeah, he's
I'm
like,
fine.
he's like twitching.
fine.
I
He's like-
expected him to
he's like,
turn
"I'm
into a
fine.
Nazi zombie.
I'm not
Yeah,
changing. I'm
that'd
fine."
be sick.
Because he
Good.
started getting all like stiff and rigor mortis like, and I expected him to start doing like the walk, you know, with his hand out.
He
Like,
looked like he like what you would say. He looked like he was bloating.
Yeah,
and
he
they
looked
never
like he
did
was like
anything with it.
exploding, like he was like getting bigger.
Yeah,
Just,
it's
like
like-
he was turtlenecking, where it was like his.
Sticky Fingaz is fucking ripped now.
Oh, it would be like Doom, where like the dude gets like fucking ripped.
Yeah, or my favorite, the douche from Sausage Party. When he, when he beefs up, he's like, "I'm a fucking douche, bro."
If you tell anyone, I'm gonna fucking deny it, bro.
Yeah, and that's what happened. He just
God,
gets
that
like
movie.
huge.
See, but like the last but Sticky Fingaz went out like a hero. Because right before then, he's talking about eating the main chick out, too.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat your ass out," and I was like, "Jesus Christ!"
This movie should have been on Pornhub.
Like,
It would have fit perfectly on there. It would
He's
have
like,
been okay.
he's like, if I turned, then I'd want to eat a piece of ass like you, and then she's
Stiff
like,
ass
well,
like
if
you might like it.
if you turned into a zombie, like I'd get you before you had the chance. And he's like, it's too bad because like a bitch like you would love getting eat out by a zombie like me or something like that. And I was like, oh my god,
he's the true hero of this movie.
Yeah.
Sticky Fingaz.
Yeah, so he turns.
Before I forget, there's like a subplot going on that the asshole revealed that they're gonna like take the cure from or the blood sample from the AMS agent guys, so that the rest of the army guys can get like a shitload of money from selling it to like some pharmaceutical company, so they can make.
It was selling it back to the same pharmaceutical, the company that's there.
Yeah.
EMS or whatever.
So that they can get like a fuckload of money.
I'll give you $500 million that I don't have yet to not kill me.
Yeah, I'll give you $1 million or $500,000 each to take me with you.
That's the other group, the two chicks.
Yeah, after he got
Michelle
bit.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, Michelle. And, we'll go back to them in a sec, though. So Sticky Fingaz gets bit. Alexandra, her name is, which is a bullshit made-up name. She kills...
Nightingale, you mean? Because that's what they call her all the time.
And then that's not what... Yeah,
they even say her name like when it's not necessary. They're like, right, Nightingale? Right? Like, it's like this. Right, Nightingale?
Yeah, that's right. Nightingale out. Yeah, they say Nightingale way too many times in this movie.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? They'll give it 1% higher if they remember one character's name. And we did. And we did. And so she kills Sticky Fingaz. She blows his head off, right? And then all hell starts to break loose. We lose O'Connell down there. He gets like his heart ripped out of his
like
chest.
the fucking zombie just like I don't even know how he does that, because O'Connell is wearing fucking body armor. So the zombie just like fucking rips through this dude's body armor and then rips out his fucking heart
It looks like
and
a chew
shows
toy.
it. Yeah, and like shows it to him, like, because he's still alive somehow, and he's like eating it, and then he just drops it.
Dude, that armor pissed me off as much as the Starship Troopers armor.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, just go in without anything. If you're gonna have, don't wear anything. Like, just it
He's
doesn't
going
help.
naked, like he might as
not-
well.
not
They do
helping.
later.
Yeah,
It's true.
So then shit really hits the fan, and our two heroes, Ellis and Alexandra, are basically the only people left alive, and they're fleeing, and they run into this little room, and as they're running away, this is where the guy like comes out of the locker, you know, and then he's like fighting him off, and then they kill that guy
And push
then-
him back in the locker. They don't even give him dignity in death. Like, they just push him back in.
Yeah, they just they and then the funny thing is, I guess it's that one blonde chick too, and then Alexandra.
But they're
and
like
Ellis.
split up, so no one knows who's alive and who's
So they make it out going to Rodriguez and then the lieutenant chick. They like make it out after they had chained up the asshole guy to the bed, so that he can just turn into a zombie and just stay there.
they told him to shoot himself too. They're like,
Yeah,
if you
they
wake
told
up, like, shoot yourself.
they told him to shoot himself, and then so they leave and they get outside and they go to the van. And then and Rodriguez tries to like open the door, and it's like locked of the back of the van. And then the lieutenant chick goes to talk to the driver guy, and he's like, "They came out of nowhere, man!" And he's like freaking out.
So
And,
fast. They're
and then
so
all of a
fast.
sudden, there's like a zombie in the back of the van that like shows itself like to the lieutenant chick, and then she's like, "No, don't open the back door," because like it's still locked and the other person has like no way of opening it. And then suddenly, because she said that, she opens the door and then gets fucked by a zombie.
Yeah, yep.
And so because she got bit, she had to die, and then the driver had to die, and then
Well, the driver dies later.
He dies
though.
later.
yeah, and then so they were left with only the lieutenant chick.
So what happened?
and
They
the main two characters.
I think before that though, the guy. Yeah, that totally does happen before. The whole like fucking like air duct thing.
Oh, that's when they go back.
No, that's before, because that's when they remember they're pulling on the guy and they pull off that part of his like satchel or like his armor, and that happened to be where. Or no, that
is after. That's almost where we thought it was going to end.
Yeah, they were. He was running. I think it was when they were running away. Yeah.
When okay.
And that's after this. You guys are right. You guys are right. The fucking
that's
one
when
later
that's
is
when
later.
that's when they go back.
Yeah, so as
they're
they're driving away, like the zombies get crazy, and then they start driving, and the dude has like his little like fucking fanny pack or whatever on his thing.
They meet. They have to go to the lab first, so they go to the lab.
Oh, that's right.
Where the zombie is, and
God,
they find
this
out
movie.
that like the professor. Yeah, like they find out that the professor is the one that started everything because he's trying to bring back.
And the
his
token
son or
stoner
something.
dude is like, yeah, the professor, he was experimenting on people. And like, you're like, dude, like,
Yeah, he looked like he was fucking stoned through the filming.
Oh yeah, that's what they. He was like, "Can you pay me in weed instead of food?"
they're like,
And
we'll
then
make
they
it
were like,
Xanax.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Some Ambien. So he got. So they find out that there's the zombie in there. So they slowly go in there and they fucking get the sample from it.
Yeah, but first the zombie, like, they go in and it's like Thunderdome, man. This zombie is fucking going, you know. The
Yeah.
zombie really starts to tear him up. They blast her. Then they pull the thing out.
The really fucking stupid device where they can tell whether or not what generation it is just by like dipping the glass that holds the blood into like this little hole.
Yeah, that reminds me of like almost those like I don't remember those weird Pokemon thing where it was almost like Pokemon Pog, and they had like the little reader and you could do battle with your friends. That's what that kind of reminded me of. It's like, oh, this is a first gen Pokemon number 148. You know,
Oh, the Pokedex.
yeah, the Pokedex like game thing that they had for a while that I was the only one that had, so I never got to play it with anybody. But yeah, it reminded me of that shit, and it's like so fucking dumb, like a very precise machine. They're like, this is the Zombo, Zombo Reader 2000. This will tell you what gen your zombie
It
is.
should have had a voice like a Pokedex.
It looked like it was. It looked like it was like a fucking spray painted piece of cardboard too, like that they were like turning around and shit in. It
Yeah.
was fucking ridiculous.
So they get the sample, and that's when they flee, and they go.
The zombies attack and they kill off the two more side
door,
characters too.
Yeah, after they kill the zombie, the door closes, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" And then they're like, and then the two, the high kid, and then the chick, like try to like go for the door so they can open it, but there's like a shitload of zombies behind them, and they get fucked.
Yeah, and the stupid thing is though, they're like getting on the ground, getting ripped to pieces, and they're like, "Oh my god." The city, because like the whole time the city was going to get bombed and like nuked within like a 10-minute period.
The school was going to get bombed.
I thought they said it was the city.
It was just the bomb. It was just the school.
Yeah, I thought it was just a school too.
Oh, maybe I thought
it was like
more.
the epicenter.
Well, that would have been a good
event,
plot
which is what they
device.
were gonna destroy. Yeah,
And then they're in there like, oh my god, we only have a few minutes until they destroy the school. Like, what are we gonna do?
and then like the door magically opens.
Yeah, and it turns
then
out
the
to be-
chick's hand is fucking on the hand scanner thing somehow.
Even though
because
she wasn't even
she
near
was
it.
pinned
20
to the
feet away.
Yeah, she was pinned to the fucking ground instantly by like 20 zombies, and her arm was just fucking hanging there from the shoulder.
That's
which
what I
fucking-
call. It's the Deus Ex Armina. That's what it is. So, like,
Deus Ex
they use her arm.
There's no fucking way
You know
that
what?
should have been there at all.
Here's what happened. As she was dying, they ripped that arm off, and she ripped it away with her other one, and she like tomahawked through that fucker.
Through it, and it like magically stuck there.
That's why it's in Florida. She's one of the like fucking oh shit, I can't remember what school it is, but it's the Seminoles. I think it's Florida State. The Florida State
you're
Seminoles,
right.
and they're like they have their little like chop thing that they do. She was doing her chop motion, and she chopped her arm over there, and she is good at it. And it landed splat on there. Let those guys out. They get out, escape.
And the zombies ignore them like they're eating, but like they don't even go to the fresh meat.
Yeah, they get kind of pissy, and then they go back.
And then the fucking like kid who's like really high
It's still alive
It's
and
still
shit.
alive while he's getting eaten by like 7 zombies.
And they leave him.
And they just lay out. He's like, "Help me!" As he's like covered in blood, and they're like ripping out his fucking innards.
And like, well, the chick goes to do something
they're
else.
just
Is like, no.
And the dude like backs out of the door and then like slowly closes it behind him as the guy's getting fucking ate.
Yeah. So super dumb, and that's when they come outside, and that's when the other chick gets owned.
Yeah, and then they start chasing the van, or like try to get out because there's like a fucking flood of zombies. Like,
And and they don't bite him.
in front of the van. Yeah, like none of them bite him for some
yeah, there's a
fucking
guy that could
reason.
have bit his ass a million times.
It takes them 5 minutes to get through this crowd that should have been tearing them to shreds, like the two kids in the fucking lab.
Yeah.
No, they make it out because they're the main characters.
And he has that axe. He grabs that axe.
Oh, that's later though.
Oh, is that later?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's later.
And then
Damn it!
This is
the,
first time. This is when they pull the pouch off
the
of him and
lieutenant
break it.
chick is
That's
like
right.
shooting the zombies lazily from the van.
Yeah, the legless chick, yeah.
Yeah, and she's not the legless one.
No, it was. It was the legless blonde chick. She came back, remember?
No, it was the other girl that saved him.
Are you serious? It wasn't the one in
Yeah.
the... Oh, my God, dude.
The legless blonde chick is who I think was her sister, but it never confirmed it.
Oh. Well, she looks kind of like her. Yeah, she's out there just owning people.
And then, so she's like sitting in the van trying to shoot the zombies. And then they start moving the van, and then they like jump into the van. And then there's a zombie that's like hanging on the dude's ass, and then he like bites his ass, but he only gets like the pouch that had the vial of blood in it.
Yeah, and then we see the vial break, and they're like, "Oh my God, we have to go back." We have to
And
get
then she's
another
like,
fucking
"No, we
sample."
can't go back because we have like 15 minutes."
No,
till
they say
till they
10.
blow up.
10
And they
minutes.
say 10, and it takes
10
another
minutes?
like 15 or 20 before they
even
actually...
get
it's like
before they
fucking-
turn around.
It's like
Yeah.
the last
15
half
minutes.
hour is that fucking
Is
scene where
that
they
10
go back.
minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go back into the school. They're running through. It's mostly uneventful. At this point, it's just our main
Yeah,
characters.
they go through the football field.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That part was kind of fun.
so that they can avoid the majority of the zombies, and they make it through one of the doors.
Well, there's
and-
football zombies in there, and they shoot him in the head, and nothing happens. Like, there's no exit or like anything on the helmet where they shoot.
Those are
Yeah.
high-quality helmets, man. They put their...
But it killed him.
That's true, yeah.
And then one of the ladies is like complaining to the dude, like, "You don't even know where we're going." And it's like, of course he doesn't fucking know where he's going.
It's like-
They've been in the school like one time.
And not in this section.
And there were zombies, so get off my case. Like, we were running last
And
time,
so-
and we're running this time.
Yeah, so they like end up holing up themselves in like this office with like a bunch of zombies coming, and the only exit is this fucking like
Great.
this air vent.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, shit. No,
Which
you
is
know what?
Up.
There is still one other chick alive.
Which one?
Because remember, there's like Alexandra, and remember he pulls two girls through the door? Because he pulls the one blonde chick through really quickly, and then like... So I think they had one other person alive, one blonde cop. And I think that might have been the sister. But I remember them like waiting forever, and then Alexandra came up, you know? Something.
Maybe?
Fuck, dude. We don't remember this.
No,
We
no,
just
it was
watched
only
it.
the. It was
Yeah, I
only
thought it was
the
the same blonde chick.
It was just the lieutenant chick, and then
Who shed
Nightingale,
all
and
her
then the
armor.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all
Okay,
took
so it
all
was
their
3.
clothes off for some fucking
some reason, I was thinking it
all
was
their
just 2.
protection.
I wish it would have been a legless chick, like good, like bionic, like robo legs, and she's like,
She's like stomping them up. Yeah.
That would have been fucking sweet.
That would have been an awesome movie. The budget would have been tripled at least.
Anyway,
That'd have been 10 fake tits out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so they fucking they're stopped by this this air vent, and which they can't break through for some reason.
The funny
even though
thing
it's
is
very
the screws
thin
are
metal.
on this side and
Yeah.
the metal is thin,
Yeah,
so, they could punch
could-
through it.
and
like-
they have a knife, so they could easily unscrew
and
it.
they have a shotgun. They could bash that fucker
they could
open.
bash it or shoot it open, whatever they want to fucking do. And so they're like, oh well, we can't get through on this side. We have to go through. Like somebody would have to be on the other side.
Yeah.
So the dude has this genius idea of like coating himself in the Jello that is zombie blood.
Yes.
And so then he makes it through. He gets to the other side where the vent is, and then the vent's stuff is on the side that he's on now. And so he cuts it off with his knife. He doesn't even unscrew it. He cuts it with his knife at the bolts.
Yeah.
And then takes it off. And they fucking like climb through the vent, but the vent is no longer like a floor above them.
It's on the
like-
floor, yeah.
It's on the fucking
Because you
floor.
see Nightingale like
Yeah, you see
crawling
them on the other
out of the
side, like
fucking
with
vent.
from the angle, and you can see them like crawling through, even though it's supposed to be like near the ceiling.
Yeah, I accredited that too. Like the vents in this place are like the one guy's office in The Shining, where like he goes and meets with the the guy who runs The Shining, when Jack meets with him, and like they go in the room, they're in the house, and they're in the middle of this mansion, you know, or this massive area, and like they come into this room and there's a window there. That's what I accredit it to. It's the same level of genius that the the Shining's window is this fucking vent. Not really at all. But then the funny thing,
dimensional vent.
The funny thing to me is that the guy coated himself with the stuff, with the zombie gizzards and like innards and all that, and like they just started sniffing him a bunch. They were like,
they sniffed. Like there was the one zombie.
Suddenly, zombies sniff.
He opens the door and the one zombie sniffs him, and then finds out that he smells like them. So then it's fine. And then like that's to show you that it's okay. That it worked. And because it worked, it just makes you think, why the fuck didn't the rest of them just do that?
Yeah, instead of worrying about this grate, like fuck the grate, let's all just zombie
he made
up.
it to the grate, and then they were like, okay, it's fine. But then, like, they pulled them through, and suddenly there were no zombies there that he made it to. Like, why didn't they just all coat themselves in the fucking zombie gizzards?
I don't know, man. Who can say?
And then he proceeds to clean it off as soon as they get to the lab.
He wipes them in his mouth too. He's
he like puts it in his mouth and is like, yeah, it's fine, it's good.
Yeah, super shitty. And also they run into the guy who chased the wispy gowned girl, and he like sniffs and he like kind of knows that he's still alive a little bit, but then he's like, no, can't be. And
well, then
he
the zombie
back.
like goes after his food, and he's like, and he like goes to eat his like meal again, and then turns around, the dude's gone. He's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, he's probably still dead anyway. He's just not hungry right now. But yeah, then they get out of the school in an awesome way. So blonde chick gets bit.
Yeah, so they get the vial a second time after the blonde chick gets bit, and so they just like leave her there.
And she gets bit in a super shitty way. They're like, once again, there's like someone on the floor, or someone like sneak attacks her.
It was the chick that had gotten destroyed and had her arm ripped off that was on the scanner. She is the one that bit her.
Yeah.
Which
And she
just
backs
makes
up
no
into that.
sense because she was fucking dead.
It was
And,
same
like,
with the stoner dude. He was like standing up and walking and like had no damage.
Yeah, like when you see that chick like on the ground though, like the only thing left of her is like the top half of her neck.
Yeah. So super dumb. She gets infected. They get the second vial. They leave. And then this is like, they get caught in a classroom and they're like, all right, fuck it. Shit's going down. There's too many of them. We're going to fight through. And then like a shitty fight scene ensues where Ellis has got like an axe, and then Alexandra's got this knife, you know, and they're just like going through these zombies. And then Alexandra's like in a corner with like 30 of them, and she's just like slashing still and like, get out of here while you still can, you know.
That's an order.
Yeah, and then the missile hits the school, and he flies out of the window.
Yeah, he
you know,
like
the-
One
he does
missile,
the- he does
one
the-
missile hits
Yeah,
one
missile
little
hits-
section of the school.
yeah,
and then
a
it
10-minute
gets,
late
everything's
missile.
on fire, and then
10-minute late
and he action hero jumps like with the explosion, and then he gets out, goes to that lake that they weren't supposed to be filming at, and
They got the permit this time though, because that scene was a lot longer than the last one.
Exactly, yeah.
so they go there, and he sees the driver just fucking dead on the ground, and he gets to the van, and then the asshole guy like escapes and is there, and he's like, give me the fucking vial, and then so he gives him the vial, and he like starts monologuing about how it cut off his arm and it was giving him a real rager. And then he was like, yeah, I got bit by like a mosquito, but because like it's so small, there wasn't enough blood to transform me instantly.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's because it's such a small amount, it takes longer. And I'm like, I don't think that's how that would work. Like, it would still
if
get
you're
to your
infected at
brain and
all,
heart. It just
you'd
wouldn't be very much. Like,
if it gets at you at all, you're fucking
but yeah,
dead.
yeah. And he's like, you know, I had to cut off my own fucking hand, and we're gonna make millions off of this when they make an antidote out of it. It's gonna be fucking sweet. You're gonna take me there. You're gonna make all this shit happen.
Well, no, because like as soon as he gives him the vial, like he threatens to kill him. He's like about to kill him, and then the chick who somehow survived not only the 30 zombies like on top of her, like doggy pile style, she also survived the missile that hit the school.
Yeah, that destroyed the school completely.
Destroyed it.
basically.
Yeah,
like, Part of it's support. What if it's like support columns just like collapsed after the missile hits? So like you're dead in there.
It looked so damn bad.
It looked really shitty.
terrible.
Really, like they filmed the school and like certain parts of it looked like it.
I
was
think
set
what
on
they
fire.
did is they made a pizza box school and they burned it, and then the top part just collapsed,
That
and
would-
then they were like, "All right,
That
we're
was like
done."
because they didn't have any more budget. Like that was the last like $20 of their budget.
Yeah, it was
And
that
they're like,
pizza.
shit.
And that was what they fed the crew with that day.
Yeah,
Is that pizza that they used pizza box for the
that
house.
was the craft services.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then so she's there. She somehow survived all that with like not really a scratch on her. And then they get to a truck after they find out that the vial of blood was broken again.
No, what happened
and
is
they're like, should we go back?
they were at the truck, and the guy that she like shot a couple times pulled a grenade out. Remember?
Oh, well, yeah, he pulled a grenade out as he was like, "But I'm gonna take you with me," or some shit like that. And
Yeah.
then, like somehow the vial was broken because like when he dropped the grenade, it like rolled away from him and like under the van.
And the vial's in his
The
pocket.
vial was in his fucking chest pocket, and the vial was somehow near the van and broken, like perfectly broken in half.
Oh yeah. So they're like, "Fuck, the vial's broken again. Like, should we go back?" And they're like, "There's nothing." And then like the one girl's like, "Oh, there won't be anything left." And it's like, "Yeah, there will. You're totally fine." Like, the school, as far as we can tell, is unaffected by this madness
Because you lived.
yeah. And they're like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna go. Like, we're
like,
gonna go
there's
figure
no
this
chance.
Well,
It's
she's like, should
already
we like
eradicated.
kill ourselves? Too,
Yeah.
like, they kind of talk about. He's like, just shoot me now, and he's like, well, let's just chance it and see what happens if this outbreak got out, and then it did.
out." Yeah, and it's everywhere. And I'm like, this is the next day, as
And
far as I can
apparently
tell.
she got bit and is telling him that he shouldn't chance it, but he's like, it's fine.
Yeah, and they're driving towards that city. It looks like the city from it looks like Raccoon City. Like it's like all smoky and everything's destroyed.
Yeah.
And you're like, well,
And I'm like, what is this, the next day? Like, how bad was this fucking
Yeah.
outbreak? Overnight, the city is just blown
It's
up.
fucking instant.
Yeah, and that's how this piece of shit movie ends. I guess there was an after credit scene that I missed.
It was just the professor from like the earlier parts, just like breathing real heavy and sniffing around.
it was funny because we were talking and we're like, what the hell is there after credit scene? And we're suddenly like, right,
Yeah, because
it's
like
over.
the credits ended and then like it was like the dude is like back on screen. It's like, oh shit.
So the guy who started it all.
Yeah, the professor.
Yeah, setting it up for a possible third movie.
Yeah.
Isn't
House
there
of
a
the
third
Dead
one?
3.
In 2019.
I have no idea.
I feel like there is a third House of the Dead, but we can check.
I mean, if the other one was like direct to DVD, like I don't know what this one would be.
Direct to VHS, so no one ever watches it.
There is a trailer.
direct to YouTube.
Oh my god. I think there is, dude.
There's a fan fiction. Someone made a fan fiction.
Who was a fan of it?
Christ.
Fuck, who knows, man. There's a House of the Dead 3 trailer.
That chick looks promising.
Yeah, she does. Oh my god, it says, oh, that's for the game, 2002.
There's no comment on this video, by the way.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just for the game. Fuck, I don't think there'll ever be a House of the Dead.
Oh, but why? This was such a
House of
amazing
the Dead
movie.
3 trailer.
Yeah, dude, I think that's just the fucking House of the Dead 3 game.
Yeah, it's just that's what. It
What a
looks like.
buzzkill. What a buzzkill.
Film adaptions.
Wreck-It Ralph had something about that. Oh man, in December 2016, Variety reported that Stories International and Circle of Confusion will produce a new House of the Dead movie.
Well, zombies are all the craze. I mean, they still kind of are, but it's not surprising.
So I guess there was a House of the Dead 3 in development in like 2006, but I'm pretty sure it got canceled.
I can't understand why.
Yeah, that's a goddamn shame. But this
These
movie,
are perfect movies.
this movie is not great at all. I do agree with Craig, though. I think it is just a little bit better than House of the Dead.
Which is really sad considering it was a direct-to-video movie of a really shitty movie.
It's real mediocre. Jesus,
Mediocre?
mediocre. It's a sea of mediocrity. But the first one was like really bad, like fucking bad.
like the Sega Rave bad.
Yeah, And I kind of miss the charm.
Yeah, there's a Sega rave in the first movie.
Dude, I'm gonna have to watch the first movie now. I'm gonna have to go back.
You're gonna have to watch that movie. That
Yeah.
3% on Rotten Tomatoes movie.
Yeah, I actually do think House of the Dead 2 is an improvement from House of the Dead 1. It's less ridiculous. They took out the weird interchangeable, they like do fadeaways where they use the fucking in-game combat from House of the Dead games, like as they're running around. It's just like so like, and it's so cringy. We don't get that. That was charming, of course, in the first one. That's taken away.
There's no slow-mo in this one.
Yeah,
where
there's
they
a 20-minute slow-mo section.
Where they spend like at least a minute focusing on one person in slow-mo in the air as they revolve around them for like a full minute.
And they're getting an axe thrown at them, too.
And then the shotgun blast, and then the focus on slow-mo on the shotgun blast, like slowly and poor CGI, just like entering a zombie.
Yeah.
There's none of that. There's none of that in this movie. So,
yeah.
I mean, in some ways, it's not as good, but overall, I would say it's better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think overall, this is a slightly more solid movie than the original, which is extremely unfortunate. I don't think we should do rankings on these straight to movies.
Yeah.
I think we should rank these against each other, though. So, like the next straight to DVD fucking video game movie, that one we should rank against House of the Dead 2. But I'm cozy, just not worried about it right now against our other movies because it's just not fair. Just direct a movie.
I mean, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't. It would have a place on there, though. It would be not as bad as some would think.
Yeah, not as bad as some would think. That's a good. That's a good point, man. Shit. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say.
There was that ridiculous thing in there about the dude's brother that he kept bringing up, and then at the very end of the movie, when he's like trying to convince the chick to go back into the school to get another sample of the blood,
my God, yeah.
He's like, "Do you have a brother?" And then she like looks at him all like wistfully, and then she's like, "All right, let's go."
And she talks about wanting to date him too.
And then she's like, "Yeah, he's not too hard on the eyes. Maybe I'll ask him out after we get out of this."
Yeah, and then as she's dying, she's like, "I have a sister."
Yeah. Like before she like shoots herself in the head, she's like, "Hey, Ellis, I have a sister." And then,
yeah, that was a pretty good scene.
Do you think it's going to be a deal breaker though when he finds out she doesn't have any legs, or is that like part of like the good part of it? You know, like.
I don't know. I can't imagine legless chick is alive still. Like, because she was.
She was in the prison or the base. I mean,
she might be. Yeah, she'll probably be alive. If that
maybe that's what that fan fiction was that we saw in there. It's about the legless chick.
Yeah, and Ellis.
Can only hope.
Yeah, I pray that's what it's about.
They got to hook up for his brother and her sister. You know.
Yeah, I was like, I want your. And I said this while we were watching the movie. She should have been like, I want you to fuck my sister. I want you to fuck my sister for me, for your brother. Last thing she says to him. And he's sitting there, like, pointing left and right, like trying to figure out, like, who he's fucking who for who. Like, oh, okay, got it. Got it. Understood. I'll do it.
It's like threesome with Nightingale. All right.
Yeah. So they get out, and
that one's
like
for himself.
Yeah,
that's for me.
That one's for me and me alone. I can't wait till we get that new House of the Dead movie, if it ever actually happens. That'll be hilarious, I'm sure. But
they better like actually throw like. Justly, what I was disappointed about was like playing the House of the Dead games at like Nickelcade and shit. Was like all those different kind. Like, there was like frog zombies, there was like mud zombies, there was flying ones, and
yeah,
you don't
they did
get
that in the first one. They did that in the first movie for
really?
sure. Yeah,
okay,
a little bit, yeah.
I was disappointed. When that mosquito bit him, I was like expecting a lot more than I should have.
Expected him to go the fly route. And
yeah,
was, like partially a mosquito.
And he's just like
mosquito
sucking
zombie.
blood out of people, like big old, like his lips or whatever, like get like super sharp.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. But no, we don't get any of that. If the mosquito thing was the coolest thing they could have had, and they just shit
that was the climax.
Shit the bed too. Yeah. So not great. Not worth your $2.99 if you can watch it on HBO later today. Please, by all means, do. But I wouldn't recommend spending money on it for sure. It's kind of a piece of shit.
Kinda.
Yeah. Honestly, you'd be surprised with what we've seen.
Surprise full frontal was okay, but I wouldn't say that it was worth spending money on when Pornhub is free. So,
Exactly.
for the ladies, they don't even show Pizza Guy's dick, so like it's just like implied that he whipped it out. So I mean, yeah, there's not much for everyone. It's not full service.
I know, yeah. So it's fucking don't worry about it. But you guys got anything else?
No, it's completely skippable.
We don't. What do we have up for votes? Like, is there anything today? I don't think there is today. There shouldn't be.
The vote would have been for GalGun and Red Dead this week.
Oh, that's right. We did it
last
early.
week, yeah.
Oh, okay. I felt like it was time.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should just extend it by a week and see what happens. Maybe I can get the Rockstar gods to put the hammer down.
See, we already got the GalGun to win. There's no reason for that now.
Well, now it's time to impeach the GalGun. That's what I say.
Impeach the GalGun.
Yeah.
You can't impeach it. It hasn't even done anything yet.
It's committed a crime. It
hasn't
tampered
committed
with the vote.
any
It
crime.
had collusion from Japan. Japanese collusion.
Collusion?
Yeah. Colluded with the Japanese.
Yeah,
Cameron,
this is a witch hunt.
What are you racist against Japanese
no,
people now?
I'm not
like,
saying
what
it.
is this?
I'm just saying that you colluded with the Japanese to get...
I didn't collude with anyone.
Well, sure, it certainly wasn't Cameron.
you never know.
I don't know, man. I think he'll like it. He'll be ashamed that he likes it. But he'll never admit it, so...
Oh, yeah, I said that this is going to haunt Cam forever, and then you're going to have to hide your shame by, like, it's creating a separate trophy profile just for that game, and then, like, hiding that game's trophies so that your future child will never know that you played that game.
Yeah,
Well, with his killer password, his kid's never going to know.
That's right,
That's
You'll
true.
never crack that shit. So I don't even have to do that step. But, yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Like I said before, you can tweet us on the old Twitters at Nude Clan Podcast for the show, and at UFF Podcast for me.
At Obsidian Ba for me.
At Bloody Grixis for me.
Yeah,
Even
and
though nothing's on there.
yeah, do it, man, do it. Thank you for being on here. If you guys want to support the show, patreon.com/Nude Clan. You can support us by donating to our page directly, nudeclan.net. Find a PayPal link there. You can sub to us on Twitch Prime. You can sub to us on Twitch regular, like Twitch OG, whatever the fuck you want to do. We got some cool little sub icons. We got me and Craig up there. We have one for Cameron, but it's we don't have enough room because we're not legit Twitch people because we never fucking stream. But if you want to follow us over there, it's twitch.tv/Nude Clan Gaming. You can find all of that and so much more at our website, audibletrial.com/Nude Clan. So please visit there, and thank you guys for listening to another episode of Nude Clan. We'll see you again next time.
Enjoy the nude.
May the list go on. Live always in the nude.
How about a nice game of chess?